Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students, today we start a topic related to exercise 8.3 and 4, in which we have to study here about the annuities and its future value. What is the annuity? Annuity is a series of periodic payment in which we have to pay the amount of any any borrowing of the amount. We have to borrow something, that we have to pay that amount in periodicity, means we have to pay that amount in some interval after 6 months, 4 months, and we have to pay that amount for the different time or duration. So what is the inanity? How can we calculate the inanity? And in future we have to pay that amount. We can elaborate this with a diagram, like a mathematical structure, in which we have to explain how can we deal that amount. Here is the graphical representation of inanity is here. 0 to any time that is given for you in a problem, that is 5 years, maybe 10 years, 6 years, in which we have to break that into some interval, like after 1 years, then after second years, then after third years, and similarly 4 year, 5 year, we have to pay some amount uh, to the industry, to the bank, to any etc, where we have to buy something. Here we call them represented as R, that is in dollar. Maybe it's 1,000, 2,000, or 10,000, at any amount we have to borrow. So now second, if first after 1 year we have to pay that amount is 1,000, and the next year again I have to pay the same amount is 1,000, and again next year I have to pay that amount is 1,000, and similarly I pay for every year, which is fixed duration. हम फिक्स ड्यूरेशन के लिए, जिस ड्यूरेशन में हमने एक एनएनिटीज का बेसिकली मतलब ये है यहाँ पर कि हमें खास मुद्दत के बाद अब एक अमाउंट जो है बैंक को ट्रांजैक्शन के तौर पे देनी पड़ती है, उसको हमने इस तरीके से ब्रेक किया है। फॉर एग्जांपल 0 से टाइम टी है और हमें उसको 4 साल में पे करना है, तो फर्स्ट ईयर वी हैव टू पे 1,000, in next year is 1,000, similarly every year I have to pay the 1,000 rupees. That amount is represented with a capital letter R. And I, we know that in last lecture that I is represented that the in which rate I have to pay that amount. For this we have to go for the formula, in which we have to discuss what is the future annuity formula. Future annuity formula is represented as Sn is equal to R into 1 plus I whole power n minus 1 divided by I. That is the formula for calculating the future annuity of any problem. Here now, with this formula we have to calculate our the amount. Okay, here in that formula, the representation of different variable R is the represented as amount of annuity. That is the total amount we have of annuity we have to pay, amount of an annuity. And here is the I is the interest rate per period. And the next is uh, N is the number of annuity, payment, in which duration, how many duration I have to pay. In other word, I say that if in 5 years I have that amount, that and that I will be say that I that n is equal to 5 or 10. यानी 5 to 10, अगर 5 साल के लिए हम पे करते हैं तो n मेरे पास 5 होगा, 10 साल के लिए पे करते हैं तो n मेरे पास 10 होगा. एंड एस एन इज द रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ sum mean future value that we have to pay. Future value of the annuity, future value of the annuity that we have to pay for the n period of time. यानी n periods में जितनी अमाउंट हम पे करेंगे ये मेरे पास फ्यूचर एनर्निटी होगा. मैं रिवाइज करता हूँ आपको. आज का हमारा टॉपिक है एनर्निटी एंड इट्स फ्यूचर वैल्यू. Annuity is what? Annuity is the amount we have to pay in a periodic channel. Periodic channel means that we have to pay the amount with the specific duration, that we have to pay after 1 year, we have to pay some amount, then the second year we have to pay some amount, and third year we have to pay some amount. Similarly, every spell we have to pay that amount. That is called the annuity. In annuity, we have to discuss here two things. First one is the future value annuity, and the second one is the present value of annuity. In exercise 8.3, we have to discuss the future value annuity. Using formula for calculating the future annuity, that we have written as Sn is equal to R1 plus I whole power n minus 1 divided by I. So here R is the amount of an annuity and I be the interest rate per period, and n is the number of annuity payments in how many duration we have to pay. That is the maybe 4 years or 5 years. And S be the sum of future value of annuity that we have pay in specific interval. सो ये मेरे पास फार्मूला है जिससे मैं कैलकुलेट कर सकता हूँ. नाउ वी स्टार्ट रिलेटेड एक प्रॉब्लम टू फ्यूचर एनर्निटी इन विच वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द फ्यूचर एनर्निटी ऑफ द गिवन प्रॉब्लम. Here is the question. In question written as a person plans to deposit $1,000 in a tax exempt saving plan at the end of this year and equal sum at the end, that he deposit the $1,000 at the end of the year. That will be your R representation. That R is the that amount for annuity which he deposit in a account, that is written as $1,000. In question he says that for this he rate is fixed is 6%. So your rate is 6%. You can be written as it's 0.06 after dividing 6 with 100. Now next one, for how many periods? Here is n is equal to 6 years, so you can say that n is your 6. In this problem n is 4. For 4 years he put that amount. So now using that formula, Sn is equal to R, here 1 plus I whole power n minus 1 divided by I. So now dividing that term, n is 4. For 4 years, r is 1000, and here 1 plus I means 0.06 whole power 4 minus 1 divided by 0.04, 0.06, that. Now calculate this one and ask me answer. जी बताएं, ये कैलकुलेट करें और आंसर बताएं क्या आएगा आपका. Now you have to calculate that S4 is equal to 1000, and here 1.06 whole power 4 minus 1 divided by 0.06. So now you can calculate and get the answer. Adil, calculate कर सकते हैं आप?
यस सर, कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं.
शाबाश, कैलकुलेट करें. Rabi, can you understand what I am saying about the problem? Rabi, are you hear me?
Yes, sir, I agree.
Okay, you are
43.73.
you have to trying to solve that.
Sir, 43. Uh,
4374
4,374.6.
0.62, right? So you get the
जी
future
sir.
annuity for 4 years. Relating for R is the 1,000 rupees for initial annuity. You can calculate the answer for future annuity. So now going to the next problem, solve for that specific future annuity. Okay, question is here. A teenager plans to deposit $5 in a saving account at the end of each quarter. Listen carefully, question. A teenager plans to deposit $50 in a saving account at the end of each quarter for next 6 years. That amount he pay for the in quarter wise. So he saved the initial amount R is equal to $50 for saving, and he pay for that amount in quarter wise. So for how many time, for how many, 6 years, n is equal to 6 years. So that in quarter wise we can write that 6 multiplied by 4, that is 24. So your n is 4 24. So now next one, here I is the rate. I is the rate is given in the problem. That is the quarter wise at the rate of 8%. At the rate of 8%. And what should her account balance be 6 years from now? How much interest will she earn? Here is the two question he asking us for. The first one is, what should her account balance be 6 years from now? उसके अकाउंट में 6 साल बाद कितने रुपीस होंगे? So now you have to calculate the S for what? For 4 years.
Six.
4 years, right? S for 24, right? It's
Sir
24.
6 years के लिए.
So it's 6 year, but we have to write 24 because we can calculate that for the, in quarter wise, right?
सर क्वार्टर वाइज क्यों कर रहे हैं हम? क्वेश्चन में क्या लिखा हुआ है?
क्वेश्चन में लिखा है at the end of each quarter for the next 6 years आपके पास कितनी अमाउंट होगी, यानी हमें क्वार्टर वाइज कैलकुलेट करना है.
Alright.
ओके, अगेन मैं क्वेश्चन पढ़ता हूँ. कहते हैं एक आपके पास है टू डिपॉजिट $50 इन अ सेविंग अकाउंट एट द एंड ऑफ ईच क्वार्टर फॉर द नेक्स्ट 6 years. For the next 6 years, interest is earned at the rate of 8% per year, computed quarterly. क्वार्टर
ठीक हो
वाइज
गया
में
सर.
आपके पास हो गए. तो कहते हैं हाउ मच इंटरेस्ट विल बी अर्न. कितना इंटरेस्ट जो है, अब आपने इंटरेस्ट भी निकालना है और आपने टोटल जो है अमाउंट भी एनुअलिटी इसकी फ्यूचर निकालनी. यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट फर्स्ट दी फ्यूचर एनुअलिटी यूजिंग दैट फार्मूला. हियर इज आर एन टू 1 प्लस आई होल पावर एन माइनस 1 डिवाइड बाय आई. नाउ यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट एंड आस्क मी अबाउट द आंसर. शाबाश, कैलकुलेट करें.
सर जो इंटरेस्ट रेट है उसको डिवाइड कर लें 4 से.
Yes, you have to divide here. That is the 8% is 8 divided by 100. That shows the 0.08. Now for quarter wise, we can calculate that 0.08 divided by 4. It gives the 0.02.
Sir 1,521.1.
जी किसी और ने कैलकुलेट किया है? फजल रबी, कैन यू कैलकुलेट दैट? Rabi, Adam, Adam, can you
Yes, sir.
calculate? Okay, now you tell me what is R in this problem? Value of R is what? Adam, tell me about that. Value of R is what, Adam? Tell me. Can you understand problem?
50.
50, right? Good. So R is 50, and here is 1 plus I. What is I? Is here
8%.
8% is changed into decimal. It gives the 0.08. Now in problem is given that we have to calculate in quarter wise. That's why we have to divide the 0.08 with 4. We get I is 0.02 that we have to use for quarter wise. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so here the I is 0.02 and whole power is n. What is n is here for quarter wise?
It's 24.
24, very good.
24.
So it's 24 minus 1 divided by I. I is 0.02. Now take a
002.
yeah, taking calculator and calculate that value.
1.
Okay, now you have to solve. Adil, can you get the answer?
Yes, sir.
जी अदिल बताओ क्या आंसर है आपका?
Sir, 1521.093.
So it's in dollar is 1 and to 521.09, right?
Yes, sir.
You get the answer is 1521.09 dollar. That is the future annuity in quarter wise. So now we have to calculate the interest. How much interest will she earn? So how we can calculate the interest? So tell me about that. जी इंटरेस्ट कैसे हम फाइंड करेंगे? How we can calculate the
सर
interest?
50 को 24 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे
Right.
और
First,
तो
first we have to find that amount he deposit in 24 quarters. That amount is it initially he submitted, but for quarter wise in 24 quarter he submitted 50 multiplied by 24. So what we can get? It's 1200 that amount he submitted in that 6 years in saving account. So now you can find the interest. So we can calculate the interest by using the formula that if S24 minus is the subtracted with the amount that he submitted 1200, so subtracting 1521.09 minus 1200, what you can get? तो interest आपका इससे आ जाएगा.
सर
Yes बच्चे.
सर ये
321.09
50 को 24 से क्यों मल्टीप्लाई किया है, आप दोबारा बता देंगे?
बच्चे देखिए ये आर आपके पास 50 था, उन्होंने पहले मंथ में जमा करवाया, ऐसा ही है, यानी पहले क्वार्टर में उसने 50 जमा करवाया है. 6 इयर्स में क्वार्टर कितने बने? 24. तो यानी हर हम तो यही कहते हैं एनएनटी इज द पीरियड ऑफ द टाइम, यानी पीरियोडिक में देते हैं. अगर हर क्वार्टर में 50 जमा करवाएं तो 24 क्वार्टर में कितने हो गए? If in one quarter he deposit $50, then in 24 quarter he deposit in bank is 1200 rupees.
ठीक है सर, समझ आ
ठीक
गया,
है.
थैंक यू.
Adam, can you understand here how we can calculate the 1200? Adam, can you understand how we can calculate the interest with using of the annuity formula?
No, no, sir.
Okay, I explain.
Where's the
That I have to pay. Here I will explain to you that here is the 6 years plan we have to decide it. That is the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year. In sixth year we have to plan that we have to deposit some amount in our own account. That in first I have to plan submitted $50 at initial first year. I submitted $50 for first month, but I have then I saw put that amount in 50 another year, then again 50, then again 50, then again 50, and again 50. That amount totally I submitted in my account. If I pay to my if I'm trying to pay to account that amount in year wise, but in problem it's given that you have to pay that amount in quarter wise. That initially in first quarter I pay $50. I submitted my amount in account that $50. Then in second quarter, I again put it amount $50. In first quarter is 50, then second quarter 50, third quarter 50, fourth quarter 50. In that fourth quarter completed 1 year, because in 1 year we distributed it into 4 quarter. That amount I pay, I sub I submitted in my account in 1 year. Now again in next year I again pay that amount 50, 50, 50, and again 50. That amount is in second year. How much we put it in our account? 50, 50, 50, 50, that is 100, 200, and again 50, 50, 50, 50, that is again 200. Total 400 we submitted in 2 years. Now again, Rabi, tell me that in third year, how much amount I have submitted in account? First, you ask me answer about that.
you submit 400?
Okay, and 400 in 2 years. Now in next year again, I submitted 200. The total amount is what?
600?
600. Okay, 3 years I have submitted 600. Now I want to submit for 6 years. Then how much amount I have to submit it in my account?
1200.
1200. That is
Eh,
the amount. That is the required amount. I put it in my account. So
uh,
simply I have to calculate. If in one quarter I submitted 50 rupees, then in 24 hours I will be multiplied 50 with 24. We get 1200 amount.
sir.
Okay, clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, fine. Now we have to calculate the interest. Here we using the formula future and annuity, we have calculated the sum of the total amount. That is the total amount I submitted in account, and that will be the amount that I have to pay. For interest, that amount that we have to taken from the bank is 1521, subtract 1200 that I submitted in 6 years. So we get the amount is what? क्या आंसर आया था हमारा? कितना अमाउंट आई थी? 321.09. That be the interest that the bank paid me about the submission or the saving account amount. Rabi, tell me about that. Clear?
Yes, sir, now it's clear.
Okay, very good. अदील कुछ समझ आई है? अदील आप इधर ही हैं कहीं
यस
चले
सर
गए?
आ गई है.
ठीक है.
यस यही है सर.
Okay, so now that is the future annuity we have to solve. So now Rabbi and whole class solve one problem with me. No one ask me answer. Either I tell someone to ask me answer. So here is the question. Question is, our corporation want to establish a sinking fund beginning at the end of this year. Annual deposit will made at the end of this year for 9 years. Now you have to understand that N is 9 years. So here, if deposit earn interest at the rate of 8%, so here I is equal to 8% is given, and per year compound annually, how much money should be deposited each year in order to have 12 million rupees submitted. So here is the amount. Okay, I write the total full question. You can understand what is written is here. A corporation, a corporation a corporation wants to establish a sinking fund beginning at the end of this year. At the end of this year, annual deposits will be made at the end of this year, and the and for the following 9 years, following 9 years if deposits earns interest at the rate of 8% 8% per year, compounded annually, how much money must be deposited each year in order to have 12 million 12 million at the end of 10th year. Okay, now I ask second question later. So now first we have to learn about that problem. The second question is here, how much interest will be earned? So we can calculate the interest. Now first we have to understand the question. A corporation want to establish a sinking fund beginning at the end of this year. Annual deposit will be made at the end of this year, and for the following 9 years, that is 9. Okay, fine, that is 9 is here. I write the 9 years. If deposit earns interest at the rate of 8% per year, compounded annually. How much money must be deposited each year in order to have 12 million at the end of 10 years? G, what is the value of R is here? Now tell me someone. I know that that 9 year
R की
is
value 5
सर
निकलनी है.
that 9
नहीं
is
गिवन हम लोगों ने.
ये
सर
n है,
आर फाइव.
ये I है. जी मैं जरा आदम से पूछूं. आदम, can you tell me about that in this problem? What is the value of R? Adam,
It's 12 million.
what is R? In here you say that 12 million is R. What is R? Actually, what is R? Can you define R? What is R? R is the amount of inanity. R is the amount of inanity that we have to put in account or pay every year. Can 12 million is we pay in every year? So here you can understand the question. How much money must be deposited each year? Here is question is that is the how much amount, and then in order to have 12 million at the end of 10th year. So that is not R for you, because he want to ask us that what is the value of that we have to deposit every year. R can be defined as R is the value that we have to pay every year. So Ravi, tell me what is R here? Ravi, tell me what is R here in this problem? Okay, Ravi, tell me what is N is here?
9 years.
9 years. What is I? 8%.
It's 8%.
8%. So the R is unknown in here because in question he asked us that how much money must be deposited each year. So that is R is unknown in this problem. So in after 10 year, I have deposit the amount is 12 million. So what after 10 years? So what is the that 12 million in this problem? That is the S is equal to 12 million. In this question, R is missing. Okay, so we can calculate R in this problem. Now I have to calculate for you that R. How we can calculate the R? So here is the formula. Sn is equal to R 1 plus I whole power n minus 1 divided by I. So S is given, that is 12 is equal to 12 million. 12 million. So in 12 million, how much zero is? I think 60. 6
50 सर.
60 नहीं होते 12 million में बचे?
60.
60. Okay. R is unknown. 1 plus I is what? 8%. We can change 8% into decimal. We get 0.08 whole power I is n is what? 9 minus 1 divided by 0.08. Now from here you can calculate R. How we can calculate the R? Here 0.08 is divide, in other side it's multiply 0.08 on right hand side, that is R 1.08 whole power 9 minus 1. Now you can multiply 12 million with 0.08. What you can get? जी सिर्फ ये मल्टीप्लाई करके बच्चे बता दें कि क्या बनता है. 12 million multiply with 0.08, what we can get? जी कितना आता है?
Sir, 9
बोले
960 960,000.
960,000. So now R Now taking 1.08 whole power 9 then subtracted 1 from it, क्या आता है? इसको कैलकुलेट करें सारे को.
0.99.
999.
0.999. Okay, fine. So now here 0.99 is multiplied with r. On other side, it must be divided when we shifted it. 0.999, that is equal to r. R is equal to what? Now 960,000 divided with 0.99. What we can get?
960 956.5.
960 point
956.51.
956.5. Okay, if when you calculate it, you get the value that you have to pay in annual annuity wise. Okay, समझ आ गई बच्चे आप लोगों को कि हम
सर,
कैसे?
क्वेश्चन था,
जी बच्चे पूछें.
जैसे r के साथ जो टर्म मल्टीप्लाई हो रही है, क्या
हम्म,
हम वो पहले सॉल्व करके डायरेक्ट 12 मिलियन से डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते?
कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं, बट मैं इसको चाह रहा था कि थोड़ा सा आदम को बता सकूं कि ये टर्म यहाँ लाके मल्टीप्लाई करके सॉल्व कर सकते. ठीक है. So you can calculate that value separately and then divide it on other side with 12 million. Okay. कोई किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो बताएं. क्लियर है बच्चे
सर
सबको?
एक सेकंड
बोले बोले.
सर एक सेकंड लिख ले.
हाँ लिख ले.